of his business. However, the tablecloth was stolen just days later.
Hello, I'm Doctor Who. Within the new worlds of lost cities, planetarians that loop the other galaxies around back to the Americans. I'm the Doctor who roamed Hollywood and did of God's Earth, God's green Earth. I'm the Doctor who used to pay for him to call home and taught us to show up. I'm the Doctor who lost the solar power during the wireless data strings of timeless and the good gossip. I don't believe in the international leaders. There's no hope. Survival wasn't the option. The international leaders built a Cyberman, a welding robot, aka also known as the software of artificial intelligence, from cyberspace. Although the dialogue says deleted time and space continuums from these dying planets of these other galaxies, there was still hope. In a hopeless situation where the outcome is that epidemics and crisis is not in your hands. There is no medicine for heart disease. There is no medicine or first aid kit during the hurricane or the eye of the hurricane, which is the site of the hurricane. They see their eyes and they don't see their hands. Since the big book was published and committed to the institutions, for years the big book was in confidence and recommended. The translation of Minto was crazy, intentionally trying to be crazy with a crazy idea, sound potential, positive feedback to act on, and acts of self-defense without the acts of harm toward another. Drawing the power of God goes deep. The majority of people, places, and things, an asylum in the middle of the aisle that was altered through time and space in the center of the other galaxies, on the edge of the universe. But sometimes you must start life anew, and we knew not of the spiritual way that would be smoother for these families of people, places, and things, and their children. All we knew is that everyone suffered greatly in the aftermath. Even during hell on earth. A new courage, a newcomer, a good nature, and a lack of confidence did wonders for society or a secret society. And belief, the principles would carry out that appeal in dealing with the unnecessary actions of others. Of any debate or argument that will carry your emergencies to promote a better understanding all around them. which grips the home of every lesson to learn from others and believe. I felt obligated to tell their employers inquiries to avoid questions and answers for darkness rising. To lie to people about a scientific explanation that won't exist. There's another paralyzing fear. Thinking of disgrace and hard times through the struggles and the stress befalls. The experience may become of you. You might not know what you become at the end of the night. When this happens, regard it in different light. It may prove a blessing in disguise. It may be convincing forever. Time after time, it has been a bond to open up a new discovery of God. God we trust. Proverbs. If God can solve the riddle of ageless, or of aging, or the fountain of youth, and belief, if God can solve problems that affects pride, vanity, or selfishness, or dishonesty, and belief, we find it solves our problems too, by assuring the lack of fear, the worries, and the hurt of most wonderful things. Urge to try. Nothing is to be helpful. Changing the altitude and to go along with the atmosphere. And going on unhappy and not content. And watching seeds sprout in new soil. Near the belief of human clay, without the sands of time. This is altered throughout time and space. Regarded to a lesson in time from others who have been educated by learning to live again. Throughout mistakes, even if it's not of your own, that will drag you down to the hounds of hell, the hells of cave and open, that immerse you to overcome the struggles, even if it's not of your own. To encounter the hurts and resentments, unreasonable speaks of new domestic horizons. The great thunderclouds dispute many gatherings. and one must carry the burden and never forget the hazards that's begotten in acts of judgment. Who was I to judge? I'd rather judge myself first. I am not to compare. I don't feel better if I hurt someone else's feelings. I think comparing would be judgment. I wouldn't even compare myself to someone else. It wouldn't solve success at a glance. It sounds like criticism. Not the kingdom of God. It sounds like another free trial for the gates of hell for God to judge me. And I can't ever ask God to do that. It sounds rather intrigued. But the next heated discussion to speak upon, no matter what the subject is, either as privilege or as small, as an invite. Not just to say, to get serious, but something rather to speak of later. I thought patience was a virtue. I thought others could tolerate me. They're not expected to. They're not obligated to. I thought others could understand me and watch words if spoken in a personal manner. But I take it personal if there's no character of God near. And the mirrors was the only reflection I had. To accomplish a struggle and forget the pieces along the way and throw your life on the floor and maintain the company of strangers. To overcome stress wasn't considered a success. To make the effort with enthusiasm, to be awakened is a blessing. No point. Of patience, I thought was a virtue. So let me be patient with the future. I thought I could be patient with others and pay more attention to them. Without the lack of God. I thought I could be patient with the times of the days. Or the conversations or chats. I think I thought I could be patient with the international rulers. And I also thought I could be patient with the code of conduct from a bully. In disagreement with the power of God, the spiritual awakening was left in a free trial of the gates of hell. It was hell on earth. It has dampened my soul. It has stirred up the devil's cup. It has isolated the interests of others. It has laid its devotion for a future that has no past. I realized the miles it took to feel sorry for myself. 20 alarms of a fair fight by means. And spiritual survival. The slightest fear and tolerance I took, but I'm not patient. With the understanding of others. And all along, I would rather blame myself. To prevent the place of problems, people, and things. Everything else in the God's hands. It dismays. Most laid it. Very painful experience. To learn things the hard way. By avoiding unnecessary difficulties. And a direction of old life. It was suggested to be patient amongst others that concede the reasons of unhappiness. But I must learn to be patient with myself during these obstacles. And convert to good use. During the measurements of time and space.